What's going on, collectors, kids of all ages? Well, today's a special video. This is the Enterbay Storm Warriors whole collection and sword set. Now, the character that you see before you is Hart, and I don't have a box for him because 2 years ago I threw that out. But here are the other five in the set, and there's six on altogether. So we're going to get right into the unboxing, and then I'll put them all together. So let's check it out. Alright, collectors, so here they are all together, and Enterbay did a great job on the outfits, on the head sculpts, just amazing. Now there is a couple of things that I can tell you that you may not be happy with if you ever got these figures, which is the bodies. They're the demonic, which is on top. He's the one I think has the best body. The elbows are really tight. The other ones have like this cut in the elbows that you can really see, and they look like they look a little cheaper. But I can tell you the outfits are just terrific. Now maybe they're not movie accurate, all of them, but they do look wonderful. I'm not going to get into real details of the figures. The other thing that I want to show you guys in this collection is that I do have the collector's box of swords, and they're amazing. They're pretty nice, and they're all made out of metal. And you have shiny metal, you have dull, you'll have like dark, goldish type. I think there's a spear. I've never taken it out. It's on the bottom of the two cases there, and the top of the case, which I'm never going to get rid of, is this right here to the left. You'll see that it says number 2 Storm Warriors, and it's like a hard rock kind of look. It's very hard plastic, and I don't know if I lost a nameplate there or something, but they've been away for so long. I just finally had time to take them out to show you guys. And these are my top 6 figures. Now this is not probably my last 2 videos are just a different array of figures. This is just the whole collection. I might as well do this month for the top 6 figures because these are very nice. Now I'm going to show you Demonic's stand. It came in it was the white box. It came in a very big box, and this rock formation looks amazing. This is from the movie, and this is where the sword is halfway in the rock, and it is spectacular. So let's take a look at it. Alright, so here's the figure holding the sword that's broken in half, and that sword gets inserted into the display. Now really a beautiful display. I can't tell you how much detail is in the display itself, with the rock formations and the paint job that they created. Also, it's made out of like a resin. It's very heavy, very big display, and it looks terrific. It really does. So we're gonna take a look at the sword. And when I did get this figure, I thought that the sword was actually broken. So I was like, oh my god, just got this figure and the sword is broken. But let's take a look at it. Insert it into the display. So there's the sword now, inserted into the rock, and there's only one way of putting it in because the way they cut into the rock doesn't allow it, and also the shape of the sword, the angle of the sword, and you got to see it. It's like over here is like white, kind of like, if you know when you break rock open and you see like the dust particles. It really is an amazing display for the figure, and it's like capturing it. If you ever watch this movie, it is an amazing movie. It's really fantastic. And one of the things that I want to say about Enterbay, when they used to make these figures, the older version, the 2009 and 10, they gave you metal stands, and that was very, very cool back then. You know, I mean, it was heavy, and I guess, you know, probably shipping and stuff like that, they converted them into plastic. But the metal stands are awesome, and I love the way. Another thing that Enterbay did was these like waist huggers, and they have like these little notches. You raise it and lower it, and also the waist. You know, when these things that go on the waist that hold the figure securely, and those things are amazing. Plus, the weight of the base of the display stand for your figure, you know, it just doesn't fall. It's not clumsy. It was like very sturdy, so it gave you a sense of security, you know, posing it in a certain way, so you were able to do, you know, some unorthodox posing. But overall, the figures are really nice. Yes, there is a little problem with them. The older versions, the bodies are not, you know, not up to par, you know, Hot Toys wise. You know, they look more, you know, G.I. Joe style. The arms, because there's like a cut in the arms. But as they go later on into the following year, I think it's 2010, they did create a better body. And that was like for this figure here, the demonic, which is really nicely done. Overall, I think they're amazing together, and each individual one is really beautiful and represented very well by Enterbay, and recreating, you know, Storm Warriors, because they really look awesome. If you've never seen the movie, you should take the time out one day to see it. It's epic. The first 10 minutes of it, you're gonna go, wow, I'm gonna stay watching it. And it's really awesome. I'm not gonna, you know, tell you everything, but you guys can, you know, watch it, check it out on YouTube. The first 10 minutes are just amazing. And I'm actually gonna include this as my top 6 figures of the month of October. I've been doing, this is my 3rd video, this is my 3rd month, and I'm going to do these because there's 6 of them, and why not have this group? I think they look awesome. In my top 6 video and my top 6 figures of the month, I like to do, you know, different varieties of figures and put them together and just say these are the top 6 instead of the top 5. I have a top 6. So these are my top 6 figures. Enterbay Storm Warriors. They look amazing, and whoever has them, congrats, because it's very hard to come by now, these figures, and they're really expensive. But they're expensive because it's not the value of the figure itself, it's the rarity of the figure. Like, they didn't produce 7,000 of each. You know, it's really hard to come by these figures and put them all together, and they didn't ship a lot of them out to the States. That was a big thing back then. When I got my Heart figure, really quick, it wasn't like they were just shipping. Enterbay was shipping out to the States. It was like you had to go through a broker, a big dealer, like let's say for instance Sideshow, someone that was bringing them in. There's a couple of companies that do bring a lot of stuff in from Hong Kong in the United States. Now my dealings with a lot of vendors that I know now, that I'm understanding the system, how it works, and where people get their stuff from. So now I'm trying to circumvent them and try to cut them out, because they're playing the middleman. They're just bringing it into me and reselling it to me. So why why shouldn't I just say, fuck it, I'll just go and buy 5 cases and sell 4. So I'm getting to know the system a lot more now. So instead of me buying from other people, I'm going to start doing my own thing. But back then, it was the same way. Enterbay wasn't shooting out here to the States, so it was like 1 or 2 people were dealing with Enterbay. But now it's like, it's crazy. So anyway, boys and girls, it's enough about the history. Yada, yada, yada. Do your thing. You know how I always say it. I know you don't like me, but you like my style. Peace.